Hey, this is Molly. Welcome back to my YouTube channel as we take a look at another energy that was affecting millions of people. And this is in the late 1940s. This is specifically August 1947, when we had a conjunction of Saturn and Pluto in Leo. So this happened at 13 degrees. However, due to retrogrades, this energy went back and forth and is potentially in your chart 1946, 1947, 1948. So this is a very powerful energy. And if you were born in the late 1940s, this would have been maybe a part of your natal chart, or perhaps it's related to your siblings. If you have an older or younger sibling, they maybe had this exact conjunction in their natal chart. So let's talk about what this energy means, because it is always significant when Saturn and Pluto meet up through a conjunction. Saturn is the energy of karma, the father, work, effort, what you earn, what you put energy, time, and effort into so that you see the results you have payoff. Pluto is the energy of transformation. It's the energy of what you're here to look at deeply within yourself and understand, to make the unconscious conscious, and to have a transformative experience, something that shifts permanently within you. However, the Pluto energies are actually very intense. They have an emotional charge to them. They go into kind of the underbelly of this particular astrological sign. So when we're looking at Saturn and Pluto in Leo, we're really getting into the heart of how you grew up and how you experienced power dynamics within the family. With Saturn, this is typically related to the father, although you could have energy around the mother in this. And it's related to love, because Leo is receiving love, being recognized, being seen, feeling that you're truly respected and honored. And this energy would signify that there was a lot going on, especially when you were born and perhaps at an early age, around power dynamics, around where you could express yourself or not, because that Saturn energy can be a stop, and the Pluto energy can be about power and control. So this is an energy signature where there's a lot around this lifetime of going into more of who you are on your own terms, understanding what's in your own energy, what's in your heart, and how you've been developing the courage to be yourself through multiple challenges or setbacks, how there's things you wanted to do your own way, which is also Leo, the desire to go your own way, to do your own thing, to say, I'm in charge of me. But this is a very heavy energy signature, which means you had a lot of karma and soul growth to work through in the Leo energies of your chart and in what it means to be yourself in the world. And so you can certainly apply this to how you grew up, the decades that formed you through the 1950s, the 1960s, the 70s, and so on, and what it meant to be in your power. I feel like this strongly correlates to gender roles and assumptions that were made about who's in charge and who runs the show. This can certainly be the king, like if there was a king of the castle, or you had to marry a king of the castle, or you had to be the king of the castle. This certainly is about inequity in power dynamics and who's in charge. There's a lot of creativity here. There's a force of nature moving through you that wants to assert itself, but perhaps you came up against roadblocks, challenges, delays, things that you had to fight for. You had to overly demonstrate something in order to be seen. You had to overcome obstacles, and I'm getting the visual of the inequity in the workplace or the inequity in pay. It's like you have to work twice as hard to get just a little bit just a little bit, not even equal. It's like there's a sense of the power dynamics are not equal, and there's more you had to do that relates to some past life energies. And so I offer that perspective because it could help explain the bigger soul story around why you were born during this very big period of time where the Leo energies were so strong and required a lot from you. There's a development here of self-leadership, going your own way, doing your own thing, trusting your creativity, trusting your ability to create the life you want. But it feels like it was after a lot of, again, effort, a lot of energy, a lot of things you had to do or figure out, the obstacles you had to work through to basically return back to a sense of self and go into what that means. It is about the bigger questions of who am I? When you come back into your body, back into your energy, who am I? And this Leo energy relates to the solar plexus, which is your confidence, the courage to be yourself, understanding who you are. And it also relates to the heart chakra of receiving love. And so it could be that relationship dynamics were really challenging, where there were voids in love or there wasn't a sense of giving and receiving in love. That Leo energy in its lower expressions can be very much all about itself. And so this could be the narcissistic father, the narcissistic mother, where you were starved or deprived of love. You didn't receive what your heart needed. You didn't receive someone championing you or saying, wow, you're amazing. There was a lack of receiving what you needed to feel good about yourself. But it also is part of your soul growth and your bigger spiritual lessons of how your power always travels with you, even when you're in these experiences where someone else is maybe dominating. Perhaps they don't understand what anybody else needs. Perhaps they're unaware. They're just unaware of how they even come across. And to be fair, because this energy is in your natal chart, this could also be you, meaning this could pertain to you as a father or a mother. This could be something you've worked through in your own relationships of where you've been unconscious or unaware of how you come across or how you interact, because that Leo energy does want to take care of itself, but then it's designed to open up the heart, open up your creative expression, to share your gifts and your talents, and to share your creativity. So I feel like this is an energy where there's been a lot around opening up the heart, opening up more of your authentic, true gifts that perhaps you had to repress, that you weren't allowed to be a child even. There's something here where you had to grow up fast. You had to do something ahead of its time. Maybe your childhood felt thwarted. It was cut short. You couldn't really play or have the fun that Leo energy desires and needs. There was a seriousness here. There's a seriousness to what was required of you. And that is part of the Saturn energy, the requirements of yourself, what you tone down or hold back. Now, during each of your Saturn returns, this energy would have been a big theme for you. And the Saturn returns happen in your late 20s, 28 to 30, and then again in your late 50s, about 58 to 60. And those would have been periods of time where this Leo energy was especially strong and would have shown you more of your talents, your abilities, your creative gifts, more of the courage to be yourself, the courage to open your heart. So if your heart has been shut down, oh my gosh, I'm getting chills. I'm actually feeling tears. If you felt you were born and your heart was shut down because it wasn't okay to love or be loving, if you weren't able to have an open heart, it's almost like there was no room for innocence. You weren't allowed to have that innocent, playful child. And then maybe that's something that was perpetuated in relationships, in marriages, in partnerships, in any area of your life. You're like, it was just not okay to be sparkly, to be like this open, beautiful vessel of love. There was something that it's like you've been pushed along to develop, to open up, to go into, what do I need? What does matter to me? What is in my heart? What is love? What does it mean to love? What does it mean to have an open heart? What does it mean to have relationships that really feel good with people who see me, but what does it mean to see myself? So a part of this journey can feel very lonely in that you're learning self-love. You're learning to recognize yourself and to say, wow, I'm really good at this. Or to ask the question, what am I good at? What could I create with my energy? What can I do that gets me excited, inspired, motivated? There could be a sense that this energy didn't open up for you until later in life, and probably around those Saturn return energies where it would have been brought to your attention. Now, this energy is important to be aware of because at this time, I'm doing this video in 2021, we're going to have Saturn in Aquarius opposing your planets in Leo. And so the opposition, Saturn opposing Pluto and Saturn opposing Saturn, is often a time of stillness and choices. Making choices that are good for you and good for your energy. But it could feel like there's a review. You could feel like, am I still moving through karma? Is this an ongoing cycle? What do I need to see differently from another perspective? So Saturn in Aquarius, 2021 to 2023, is going to be opposing these energies in your chart and asking you to go higher and to basically zoom out on the perspective, to zoom out and look at how is this working with other people? How is this serving humanity? How is this really showing me what's best for the greater good? It's bigger questions are being asked. There is often a slowdown as well with the Saturn opposition to these points in your chart. Now, one thing that you can do to really support who you are and what you're learning is that this Leo energy is ruled by the sun. So you'd be looking at your sun sign for more information around what you're truly growing, developing, and loving in yourself in this lifetime. So in this chart, you can see that the sun is in Leo, but in your chart, the sun could be in any sun sign. And that's where you're developing more of the confidence to be yourself and to look at how far you've come with love. And perhaps there have been various times in your life where love has been a very big question. Whether you've been in partnership or single, married or divorced, separated, whatever it might be, it's what is love about? And with this Leo energy, it also relates to children. And what your children may be showing you or teaching you about love, what you've learned about it as a parent, what it means to see their inner child, that childlike play, that sense of fun. You might not even have much patience for it. It's interesting because this energy, it can take matters of the heart very seriously. It can take children very seriously. You know, it can be stern. It can be very much about the boundaries, whether that's the boundaries of playtime or the boundaries of childhood. It's like, what are the boundaries here? This does also relate to sex, pleasure, the physical body, and any energies around those themes that you've been through in your life. The power of sex, the power of the body, the power that you're working with. And I feel like what this is showing you is how not everything is about power dynamics, but that might be a strong energy signature that you've experienced. Because this energy, I'm getting the image of kings and queens, where you could have a past life of being a queen, of being a king, regardless of your gender in this lifetime. And that this is the energy where there are certain things that were just easy for you or just given to you. You didn't have to work for it, or it wasn't a lot of work like it would be now. And so this is a lifetime where you're really looking at, okay, well, what does it mean to have to put in the diligent effort for what I want? And where am I reworking some past lifetime energies that are showing me where I've had restrictions, challenges. There can be betrayal, manipulation. There can be energies here where, again, the power dynamics of Pluto are undercover. You don't always see them, but you sense them. And so you came in with a strong awareness around power and control dynamics that, again, maybe was just part of the family you grew up in. The times that you matured through the decades of our modern life. It's like there's things that you've been through that probably seem really long ago. And what I'm getting is the image of a butterfly, of the energy of how you've metamorphosized into something quite beautiful after doing a lot of work and being required to invest and spend a lot of energy in this Leo area of your life. So this is a powerful energy signature. And I feel like at a soul level, we choose our astrology chart. We choose the time of birth and when we want to come in. We choose the lessons we're ready to work through. And we also are connecting to the rewards and accomplishments of mastering those energies, of moving through some very powerful lessons. So give yourself credit. That Leo energy wants recognition. That'd be a strong word for you, recognition. Really looking at yourself, looking at how far you've come, what you've learned, what you've understood about who you are, and being able to soften. Being able to soften that ego. This can be a very big ego, a very powerful ego. This can be true for many people. This is where that ego maybe was required as a defense system to get you through some really big times, some really hard times. This was maybe about survival. Like you just had to be really tough and strong through most of your life, and it wasn't safe to soften or show vulnerability. It wasn't safe. It wasn't a part of yourself that you even knew. So coming back to that heart energy of Leo, the heart energy is bringing you back to receptivity, to receiving love. You don't have to be in charge all the time. You don't have to be in control or do it only your way. There's an energy here of stepping back and looking at what is good for my heart. Where is it okay to open up the heart and to give? This can be where you're learning what it means to give. Conversely, if you've been an overgiver, if you've always been the giver, then maybe you're learning what it means to receive. So there are definitely dynamics here that relate to love, relationships, sex, your creativity, your sense of power, what it means to feel strong in who you are, and how to not be too hard on yourself. I feel like that Saturn energy, it will be really hard on itself. That's not good enough. Do more, do better, try it again. So monitoring those messages and making sure that you're accepting that who you are is good enough, is lovable, and that this is part of how you're seeing yourself, loving yourself, and recognizing yourself. Very big energies. And of course, this becomes much more specific to you depending on your own chart and depending on your own energies. So this was just a general reading with some general insights that I hope provide perspective and understanding in this energy. And I hope maybe explain some of the bigger lessons you've been through in your life. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being here. And thank you for your comments, your likes, your shares. I appreciate all of it. And I'll be back soon with another video here on my YouTube channel.